أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. This is the 8th chapter of the book In Search of Infinity. The title of the chapter is Mad About You. How we madly fell in love with religion and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and questioned everything about life. The more we read about religion, the more we saw beauty in it. The more we discussed about it, the more we fell in love with it. It is very unfortunate that most of the programs we attended at our community centers in the subcontinent never discussed the most important topics of Islam. If at all, they were addressed superficially. This was the case then, and this is the case now. Earlier, like everybody else, we felt that Islamic laws are limited to the spiritual aspect of man and had nothing to do with the day-to-day life. Hence, we never bothered to explore what Islam has to say about the way of life. Or even if we came across any recommendations from Islam regarding day-to-day life, we would dismiss them saying they were not practical. Let me take a minute and share with you what being practical meant for us then, or meant for most of the people then. Because this criterion rules our life and ruins our life. Being practical means taking a decision that is beneficial for this world, this worldly life. However, if you took a decision that apparently seems like a loss in this world, then you are a simpleton. Since we were conditioned to the worldview of materialism, we would evaluate all Islamic values, recommendations, rulings on the basis of materialism. If the Islamic values held true according to the materialism, we would accept them. And if they failed, we rejected them. What a grave mistake it was. What a heinous blunder it was. How many great opportunities we lost because of this stupid mentality. So what is the difference between Islamic worldview and materialistic worldview? Let's just look at one theory here. Unlimited wants and limited means. Adam Smith is an economist. He claimed in his theory that man has unlimited wants and the material available in this world to satisfy his needs is limited. Hence, every man for himself. Whoever can gather as much as they can, they should do so, because this is the only way they can satisfy their unlimited wants. The one who gathers the most is the most successful person. So if I have to put it in simple words, it means if you want to be successful, gather as much wealth as you can. This is the criterion that decides who are the most successful people on this planet. It is those who have amassed the most wealth. This gave birth to the idea of capitalism. However, now let's look at the Islamic worldview. We will just touch upon one of the criteria. The Holy Quran says, "This is the book, there is no doubt in it, a guidance to the God-weary, who believe in the unseen, maintain the prayer, and spend out of what we have provided for them, and who believe in what has been sent down to you and what was sent down before you, and are certain of the hereafter. Those follow their Lord's guidance, and it is they who are the felicitious." So according to Islam, the felicitious, the victorious, and the successful ones are those who spend out, give infaq of what was provided to them. There are two very important aspects of this part of the verse. First, the most important one is the ownership of wealth. Who owns all the wealth? The verse clearly says what we have provided for them. This means the true ownership of all the wealth of the universe lies with just one entity, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From all of which that belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's provided each of us with a minuscule share, and we are the temporary bearers of that wealth. Second, the ones who give out charity are the successful ones. Unfortunately, we lack the comprehension of this success after charity. The definition of success according to Islam is in stark contradiction to capitalism. Capitalism says, gather all you can and do not give, because you are the owner of the wealth, and you can choose what to do with it while it belongs to you. While Islam says, gather as much as you can and give as much as you can in charity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the true owner of the wealth, and you are the temporary bearer of it in this world. Tomorrow, all of it would go to somebody else, whether we like it or not. one day we would die and all of it will belong to somebody else. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommends charity, but you can choose to do charity or not. If you follow the advice of the most knowledgeable and the most wise, then you are the follower of his guidance and you are the most successful one. Because of this difference in the approach of Islam and materialism, it is incorrect to evaluate and reject Islamic rulings and recommendations based on the criteria of materialism. The greatest challenge with capitalism is that its perspective is limited to this physical world only, while the purview of Islam extends to the hereafter as well. Hence, when the Holy Quran says, those who do charity are the victorious ones, it means in this world and more so in the hereafter. So like everybody else, since we were conditioned to materialism, we would comfortably reject the Islamic ideology and recommendations. However, when we started attending tafsir classes, it started changing our worldview. And the more we read about Islam, the more it made sense. The more we fell in love with it. When the perspective changes, the behavior changes. When the understanding of Islam changes, there is a change in the person's behavior, personal choices, decisions and actions. The way they deal with money, the way they deal with what they have, the way they deal with people, and more than anything, the way they deal with themselves. Inshallah, we will cover the rest of the material in the next chapter. Until then, iltimas dua, Khuda Hafiz.